Chris Young's brand new single, I'm Coming Over, right here on 107.5 and 105.7. It's time now for our weekly artist spotlight. This is something that I love to do every single week, almost every single week, and I love to have these artists. It started off with artists that were from around here, in South Georgia, Albany, Valdosta, and now it has branched out and grown. We've had an artist come all the way from Arkansas to be here, and a lot of the artists that we have and nowadays come from around the Atlanta area, North Georgia, even Florida and Tennessee. It's just so cool to me to watch this thing grow and to see especially the quality of artists that we have too. It's just amazing, and it's the top of the top. So we've got an amazing artist with us today. I have been watching on Facebook her career kind of growing as well, and we finally met today. Ashley Walden is right here in our studio. First of all, you came like 3.5 hours this morning, so was it okay?
Yeah, it was good. It was a really good drive, actually.
Okay, that's good. Well, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes. So, of course, we got to ask a little bit about you. Tell us about you and you growing up, and we'll get into the music.
Well, I grew up in the same town my whole life, a really, really small town, and I started singing at a really, really young age. I mean, I was singing when I started talking, basically, and then I started writing when I was about 13 years old, and it kind of just evolved from there. I didn't know if I really wanted to do it for a living. I just knew that it was something I loved to do. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how it got started.
Yeah, and they say some people are just born with music in them. You think you were one of those people?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You told me a little bit about a church. It seems in country music, not even country, a lot of music artists, that's kind of where their love for music comes from. It's the same for you, right?
I think so, yeah, because, that's where you learn the feeling of what you're singing, and you get a chance to sing in front of people. So I definitely feel like that I learned a lot from singing in church and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you said your mom, your grandma, they sang in church.
Yes.
They put you up there too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember being small and getting up on stage?
I do, actually. I remember when I was probably about 4 years old, and my mom put me in like beauty pageants. And a lot of it was just for the talent aspect, because she knew that it was something I wanted to do. So I did that. And then as I got a little bit older, I started doing like the Oxford Singing Children, which is like an organization in our county. And so I've always sang. It's always just been something that I did from chorus in high school to the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. If people today, that knew you when you were in high school, middle school, if they would be surprised that you're a singer. You said no.
No, absolutely not, because that's all I did was sing. From the hallways to the bathrooms to everywhere, I was always singing, so they knew.
That's good. Take us back to those early days. Did you have any fears, like on the pageant stage, or were you comfortable even at a young age?
I think I've always been comfortable with, I guess, my voice, but it's always hard to get in front of people, especially if you're doing, especially original music, because you are really laying it out, and you don't know how those people are going to perceive your music, and you want to be able to tell them a story, and you want them to really be able to relate to what you're saying. So even now, it can be really nerve-wracking, and you want to do a good performance. Ultimately, you just want everybody to enjoy it. Yeah. So
what was it that really encouraged you to become a solo artist, a solo country artist?
I don't really know. I mean, I think that that's just kind of the way it's evolved. I'm not opposed to singing with other people. Even in my town, we have so much local talent, and I've done shows with other people, with various different artists. I really like to do shows with females because, like you said, there's not a lot of females in country music right now. So, but I don't know. That's just kind of the way that it evolved. It just evolved that way. So
yeah, and when you are a solo artist, it's your name, it's your face that's being put out there. Talk about that a little, and maybe some of the pressures to always be, the best you can be.
Well, I'll tell you a prime example. I actually went to the doctor's office, and I was looking on Facebook, and somebody had wrote me a private message, and they were like, "Are you in the so and so doctor office?" And I was like, oh, wow, people really do recognize you, So then you start thinking, well, good Lord, I probably shouldn't wear my pajamas, You start thinking about all those things, So, yeah, I mean, it's a trip for sure.
For sure. Yeah. All right. So you have brought a guitarist with you. He's been your guitarist for about a year, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, he has.
Let's introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us your name.
Hey, I'm Logan Robertson, and I've been playing with Ashley for about a year now. So
That's cool. Tell us about your musical journey.
Well, I started out playing baseball for many years, and I just got burnt out with it. So that's when I switched to playing guitar, and I took guitar lessons for about 5 years. And from there, I went off to the Atlanta Institute of Music and graduated from there. And after that, I've been playing with Ashley ever since.
Very cool. So at the Atlanta Institute of Music, I'm sure it was all about theory and I hated that in school. I'm just going to be honest. But do you see that going through that helps you today in what you do?
Yeah, most definitely. The theory and the performance side of the curriculum.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Very cool. And did you grow up liking country music?
Yeah, I grew up.
Okay.
My first music I played on guitar was bluegrass, and from there it went to country music. And I'm pretty diverse in all kinds of styles, but I'd say country's one of my favorites.
Yeah, because Ashley, a lot of times you get these guitarists these days. I used to have a band I know. They were in rock bands, and so for them to go to country is sometimes
Yes.
not sure about it, but then they end up loving it. So that's cool that you got a guy that already liked country.
Yeah.
That's really cool. All right, so a little bit more about your journey. About how long do you think you've been out there as Ashley Walden, the country artist?
Probably, I think it's been about 2 years now.
Okay.
The first show that I did was actually a benefit for a local fire department. And, I did a full band show, and we were like, well, we'll give it a shot and just see how it goes. And then it kind of just escalated from there, to the point where I was playing, every weekend and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Talk a little bit about your family. You told me that your mom was a big influence musically for you, and then them today being there for you with your music.
Yeah, my mom's always been a really big supporter. My dad as well. I think that the one thing is they always just taught me to be myself and to do what made me happy. And my dad would always tell me that I had this talent and that, God gives you a talent. And when he gives you a talent, that you need to use it. Of course, the songwriting kind of came a little bit later, but that really started with like poetry. And my parents would sit in the living room when I was very little, and I'd come out there and I would do my show.
Aww.
And I'd stand on the fireplace and I would sing. And now I see that even with my daughter, because my daughter does the same thing. So it's like generation after generation.
A little star in the making.
That's
huh?
right.
That's sweet. What's her name?
Her name's Alabama.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I have a son also. His name's Kane. So yeah.
Does he like music too?
He does, and he has a really good voice, but he doesn't show as much interest in it as she does. But she wants to be like Mama, so yeah.
That's good. Do you pull her up on stage sometimes?
I do, and she actually makes tips. It's crazy, like sometimes more than I do.
I love that. What kind of music does she like?
She likes country music. Of course, she has to do a little bit of Frozen because she loves Frozen. But she likes Miranda Lambert. She loves to do Pontoon. That's one of her favorites. But mostly, I think it's mostly Miranda. She likes some Miranda Lambert stuff. So, yeah.
And talking about Miranda Lambert, I asked you who your influence is. There's no denying that you favor her quite a bit. And I was saying, too, I know from your Facebook, you're really outdoorsy and you're into, like, hunting and stuff. And she is, too.
Yeah.
It's just pretty crazy. You do favor her a lot. I'm sure you get that all the time.
Yeah, a good bit.
Yeah.
A good bit.
Other than Miranda, who are some influences musically for you?
Let's see. I like Carrie Underwood. I really like Carrie Underwood. I like the fact that she stands firm where she comes from. I like Reba. I've always liked Reba. I really love Johnny Cash. I've always loved Johnny Cash, been a huge fan. But really anybody, especially women, any women in music radio right now, because, they're far in between. So,
yeah.
So I have a lot of influences, and I like country music, but I like all genres of music. I'm all about the music that I feel. I listen to the words. So yeah.
And that's a perfect segue to me into what is it about country music that you love?
I think it's real, and I think it talks about real things, and especially somebody coming from Georgia or anywhere in the South, it's very relatable. And so I think that, if you've got something going on, there's always a country song that you can cut on that you're like, oh, that's how I'm feeling. That's what I feel. So I think that probably is the reason why.
Yeah. And you told me, I was reading on your bio a little bit about Hawaii, and you won a huge competition there. Can you tell us a little about that?
I did. I won a competition. It's called Operation Rising Star. They actually do it on every military base over the United States. And that was the first time that I'd ever sung an original song, and it was called Life of an Army Wife. And I was pretty nervous about it, especially with it being an original song, but it went well. And yeah, so I got to represent the state of Hawaii, which was awesome.
That's cool. And that was the first time you'd sang one of your originals, right? Oh
Yes.
my gosh. And now I know you do it probably every weekend, but still, when you get up there and it's one of your songs, describe that feeling.
It's like taking your diary and giving it to somebody and letting them read it, and not really knowing how it'll be perceived, but it's kind of liberating, because it's sometimes things that I can't say, I can write and I can sing them and kind of just get, my point across. But when you see somebody out there that sings your song, or I get messages from people a lot about how this song helped them get through this, especially Life of an Army Wife. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling.
That's cool. And I know we've had a lot of requests. Tony's here with you too. Got to give him a little bit of a shout out. He's been great about requesting the old GA. And then when he started, other people started requesting them, and some listeners down here. So it's cool to me to watch artists, they get introduced to a new market, which down here is a sort of a new market for you. And then to see it grow. What's that like to see more and more people getting into your music?
It's exciting. It's really exciting. It makes me excited about what could lie ahead, and about just continuing to do my thing and do the best that I can, and hopefully getting more people to come to shows and, like you said, just branching out. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, it's a really important thing to do too. So I think it's great that you're doing it. You do have Logan here, Logan Robertson. Kind of throw that last name in there. We talked about that before. But do you play any instruments yourself?
I'm actually learning to play guitar, which is kind of ironic because like when I went to the studio, they're like, it's kind of different because you sing and you write, but you know the way the melody is or the music or whatever. But yeah, so I've decided, well, I probably should learn to play guitar. So I'm in the process, but I can't play nearly as well as he can.
Yeah. So you just let him do it.
I just let him handle it. I just sing.
Yeah. Well, what do you say we play one now?
Yeah, that's a great
All
idea.
right. What's the first one you want to do? Which one?
The first one we're going to do is called Handle This Girl.
Okay, tell us
Hope
a little
you
bit
enjoy.
about it.
I just, when I was younger, I had a Mustang, and I guess that was kind of the inspiration for the song, and it just kind of went from there. It talks about like a venue that I've played at in our hometown and stuff. So, yeah, and that's just a fun little upbeat song.
Okay, take it away.
Me and my girls, we were in the Stang. We were going out and doing our thing. It was Friday night at the depot. We were going to put on a show. Mama said, stay away from them boys. I said, girl, boys ain't nothing but toys. Run, run, run. Boy, catch me if you can. But don't give me no worn out lies about how you are a man. I played these games for far too long. So if you can't give me what I need, just keep on walking on. I'm a woman on a mission, and I'm about to wreck your world. What the hell? Here's my number if you think you can handle this, girl. Party's over and the night was long. It's about time for us to head on home. We had one more stop at the Waffle House. All you southern folks know what I'm talking about. Sad to see this night's end. Won't be long till we'll be at it again. Run, run, run. Boy, catch me if you can. But don't give me no worn out lies about how you are a man. I played these games for far too long. So if you can't give me what I need, just keep on walking on. I'm a woman on a mission, and I'm about to wreck your world. What the hell? Here's my number if you think you can handle this, girl. Woo!
Wonderful job. That's Ashley Walden live here in our WTIF studios. That was great, girl.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks.
And that's such a cute, like, it fits your personality really well. Like the tough girl and sassy.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Thanks. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I think it's great. So let's go on into songwriting now, because you've talked a little bit about it. You said 13 that you started to write poetry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, it's funny because my mom actually found my diary, and she found this big old notebook that I had that was like filled with poems. And sometimes it's really funny to like go back and look at the things that I wrote and my mindset and the place that I was, at that time. And how I've evolved now. But I think that writing, and I really do, and I tell my children this because I think that this is a big outlet for kids, is to just write. Sometimes when you have thoughts, it's really hard to express them, and sometimes it's hard to talk to your parents or talk to your friends or whatever. Just write it down, and eventually it could become something else. It could become writing songs, but it's just always been a really big outlet for me.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when you first started to write poetry, kind of what they were about?
Actually, yeah, I've really never talked about this, but I had wrote a poem for a friend of mine, and her mother had passed away.
Oh, wow.
And that was the first poem that I wrote, and it kind of just evolved from there. Mm-hmm. And then it went on to be about, boys and my friends and school and whatever else was going on. But yeah, that was the first one that I ever wrote.
And what about writing songs? When do you think you started with that?
Probably with Life of an Army Wife was the first one. And I think that, I don't know. I mean, I guess when I got a little bit older, and really got more into like the musical aspect of it, when I went in high school and I did like choir and concert choir and things like that, I think that started probably a little bit later, and my songs have definitely changed. I mean, even now, when we go back in the studio, it's just so different because I'm at a different place in my life now, versus where I was then. So, yeah.
Yeah. Did you find that, when you sit down and write a song, is it easy for you? Is it something that you were know that you're supposed to do?
Sometimes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it comes to me. I was telling you earlier when I'm at work and I'll get a thought and I'll just jot it down on a sticky note or whatever. And sometimes things will just come to me and sometimes they don't. Some people can write about anything, and I write about personal experience. I write about feelings. That's why when I'm going through things, most of my songs are about, that kind of stuff, because that's when I get the inspiration to write.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love, like, the one you just played, I Handle This Girl. Very fun, very, sassy, but too, the way that you put the song together was fun. You made it easy to sing along with, and I think that's great. Logan, you can probably attest to that when you're at the live show and people can tap their feet and sing and dance along and all that good stuff. You like singing some girl country songs? You don't mind playing those?
I do what I'm told.
I can tell. I like that. So with songwriting, do you kind of have a process that you go through to get the song from beginning to end?
Normally, the first verse in the chorus is easy. I think it's normally like the second verse that tends to be a little bit harder, because I'll get like, this thought or like this melody and I'll get it going, and then I get to the second verse and I'm like, okay, and it takes me a little bit longer, because it's kind of like, it's like a story. You're starting it off and then you're getting to this part and then you get to the end and you got to tell what happens in the story, so it's a little bit more difficult for that part, but yeah.
And you said probably, I was going to ask you about like the random moments that song ideas, but you said usually at work you'll get some, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while at work, sometimes riding down the road. Sometimes I'll hear another song and it'll be like, oh, well, I kind of like that, and maybe this could kind of go along with this. So I don't know. It really is just like sporadic. Mm-hmm. It's very sporadic.
And what is it like when you talked about going in the studio from, when you go in the studio and you've had the song idea, you've written the song. What's it like seeing an idea that you had become a song?
The first song that I recorded was Afraid of Loving You. When I first heard it, I cried. Like, I cried and cried and cried. It was so sad. But I think a lot of it too was about the song and what the song represented for me and like the journey that I had been through. Mm-hmm. So, but it was beautiful and it was amazing and it was exactly what I wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. So it was awesome.
Yeah, that has to feel good to go from you wrote a song to here it is, and now everybody else can hear it too.
Yeah, and I made everybody listen to it.
Yeah, everywhere you went.
Everybody. I'd ride down the road with the window down, blaring.
That's cool. So let's go to your live show now. Talk about what it's like for you being on stage.
It feels like it's at home. It feels like a home for me. I don't know. It's amazing. Sometimes it's crazy though, because you have people come up to you and like, especially when they ask you for your autograph, like that. I don't think that would ever really get normal for me. I'm like, really? Are you sure? The first time somebody asked me, I thought they were kidding. Like I thought they were just joking. But it's a lot of fun, and it's very humbling, and it's amazing that people take the time out of their day to come and listen to me. And that is a big deal for me. All my family, my friends, fans, whatever. I mean, it's a big, huge deal to have them come out and say, I'm going to take my Saturday or my Friday night, and I'm going to come listen to you.
That's great. Logan, what about you being on stage? What's it like?
Like she said, it feels at home at this point. But, this lets you, kind of escape what you're doing, any problems in your life. And it kind of gives people, just that time to just relax and have fun, sing along, and just enjoy life.
Yeah. What's probably, Ashley, your favorite show that you've ever done?
I think probably when I opened up for David Allan Coe. Yeah. I really like David Allan Coe, mainly because he was a storyteller. He sat on the stage in his stool, and every song that he sang, he had a story. He could tell you where it was. I mean, it was just, I don't know, it was amazing. I had never seen anything like that. And I've been to a lot of really great shows, but I think he was probably my favorite.
Yeah. What venue was that?
At Fusions in Monroe.
Oh, cool. All right. That sounds awesome. So I want to hear another song. Can you tell us a little bit about another one?
This next song is called Ask You to Leave. And really, I think it's a lot about, you always have that. Well, I don't know about everybody, but I know that you have that one person that you kind of, they're not right for you, but at the same time, you really just can't ask them to leave. So that's kind of the basis of the song. But I really like the song. This is Logan's favorite to do. Yeah. It kind of mixes it up a little bit. So I hope y'all enjoy it. Okay. My mama warned me about them guys like you. They get what they want and then they're through. Mama told me to take it slow. Give it some time and then you'll know just what that boy is all about. I should have listened about right now, 'cause you keep blowing up my phone, and I can't keep pretending I ain't home. And you keep whispering in my ear, saying all those things that I wanna hear. How I'm all you keep thinking about, and it's me that you can't live without. They told me you come back to me, but baby, I'm too weak to ask you to leave. In the morning you'll be gone again, telling me how we can still be friends. How you're trying to be real, not fake, and trust to you, it ain't what I think. I don't know why I let you do this to me. You just come and go as you please, but you keep blowing up my phone, and I can't keep pretending I ain't home. And you keep whispering in my ear, saying all those things that I wanna hear. How I'm all you keep thinking about, and it's me that you can't live without. They told me you come back to me, but baby, I'm too weak to ask you to leave. I'm tired of your excuses, and I'm tired of your lies. I'm tired of all those nights you made me cry. If you can't give me what I need. You'll be gone and I'll find someone else for me. Oh, ask you to leave. You keep blowing up my phone, and I can't keep pretending I ain't home. And you keep whispering in my ear, saying all those things that I wanna hear. How I'm all you keep thinking about, and it's me that you can't live without. They told me you come back to me, but baby, I'm too weak to ask you to leave.
All right. I love that one.
Thank you.
That was great. So Ashley Walden, if you're just tuning in, she's live here in our WTIF studios all the way from New Bern, Georgia today. It's awesome to have her here in our studio, and I can see why you like that one, Logan.
Yeah.
It's a fun, groovy, cool song. But yeah, you really do have a cool personality, and it's great that you can kind of translate that into your music. I think that's great.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'd say, too, talking more about being a female in country music, what's the music scene like where you are up in that's part of Georgia?
Oh my gosh, there is so many local talent around there. I mean, like everywhere. Every weekend, it's like pick a show because everyone's doing one. And there's a lot of really, really great talent. And I am 100% supportive of everybody. And like I said, every once in a while, you know, I get together and do shows with other people. But there is a ton of talent in that area.
Yeah. And what about being a female in country music?
Well, there's a ton of talent, and there's 2 girls.
Really?
So yeah, and one of them actually is on her way to LA. So,
Wow.
it's difficult and it's different, you know. I don't know. I mean, I think it is harder because not everybody wants to come and listen to girls and girl stuff, and you know, and a lot of. But with me personally, I transition into a lot of male songs too. I do some Jason Aldean and Johnny Cash and all kind of different stuff. So, but I think it is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
It's more difficult for people to take you serious. And I think any girl artist that's listening probably can say that is true.
Yeah.
It is a lot more difficult.
Yeah, because even with bars, like you said, people and venues and different things like that, it does seem that the male artists get in them easier and different things. But, I mean, as a female artist, I can tell you've done what you need to do, and you're continuing. So keep up the girl power.
Thank you.
I think you're doing a really great job with that. Talk about your fan base and the growth that you've seen with that and how much they mean to you.
It has grown a lot. You know, it's simple things as far as people sharing my stuff. You know, if somebody goes and they share and talk about my music, that's a huge deal for me. The people that come to the shows and, like I said, take their time out, that's a huge deal for me. And I try to always make sure that I acknowledge them, you know, on Facebook and let them know how appreciative I really am of that, because it does mean a lot to have people support your dream and support something that you want to do. So, yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It is amazing. And it has grown a lot. So it's great. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, I know we've had people message even us, and people like Bruce Swartz, Keely Norton, all tuned in, and going to give them a shout out. And Mary Ashby
yes,
actually sent us a message, and they're like, we're so glad that you had her on. So I can tell that you have people that really love you and support what you're doing. So it has to feel good.
It does. They're awesome.
Yeah, I think so too. So let's talk about your live show. You've already mentioned a little bit about it, but when people go to an Ashley Walden show, what are they going to get from you?
They're going to get a variety of things. You know, I do, like I said, a big, diverse amount of music, and not all of it's country. Sometimes I like to take things that aren't necessarily country and make them country, because I've definitely got a twang. So we do a lot of, you know, a little bit of everything, and it's always a good time. Everybody always has a fun time. Sometimes it turns into karaoke hour. Every once in a while you've got those people that really want to get up there and sing, which I think is awesome. I love to hear different styles of music, different vocals or whatever. So it's always a good time.
And you
always
said,
a good time.
Sometimes it's more family friendly, other
Yes.
times it's a big old party, and it's fun to have both shows, I'm sure.
It is. It definitely definitely is. And no show is a small show for me. Everything is huge for me. Everything's a great opportunity for someone new to hear my music. So, yeah, I mean, it's awesome. We always have a great time.
Yeah. What about you? From the guitarist standpoint, how would you describe your show?
Well, it's very diverse, and it's based around country, the country music. But we also do a lot of pop stuff, and I try to add, whatever styles I have, stored up in whatever we play.
Yeah. Do you make suggestions for songs
Yeah.
and all that good
Yeah,
stuff?
well, it's a kind of a joint, thing when we make song decisions and how we want to arrange the song also.
That's cool. Do you guys spend a lot of time together, like preparing for shows and thinking up new covers and stuff?
Here recently we've talked a lot about it, and we've talked about like writing and stuff like that too. I hear, there's a lot of songs on the radio right now that that I really enjoy, like I said, not just with country music, but all genres. And so if I, get this thought and I'll, write him, or he'll send me a list and he's like, these are songs that I think would be really good that you should try. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's great too, being together as a musical group for about a year. In music, I know from experience, keeping a guitarist, and having that friendship is not always easy to do. So I think that's great that you guys can do that.
Yeah. One thing about him, and I, from the very beginning, I said, I know that he has a passion for it and he loves it as much as I do. And as long as we keep that passion, it'll work.
That's right. And as long as you keep saying yes, ma'am.
That's right.
Yep.
I'm just kidding. Sort of. So let's talk about your music. You've recorded some music and have an album. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. It's very diverse. It's a lot of different kind of songs, two of the ones that I've already played, and then of course the last one I'll play, they're all on the album. But it's just my life at that point, and I don't know if it's the songs or the way that they were arranged on the CD, but it definitely feels like a story. Like it feels like it's telling a story. So, and at that point in my life, I was going through a lot. So all of that kind of transcends into that CD. So I'm really excited about some of the newer stuff. Like I said, I'm in a different place now. I'm engaged and things like that. So I'm excited to write some new stuff and get that kind of stuff recorded and talk about my journey now.
Yeah. And is that something that you're working on all the time?
I've been working on writing. Studio time, that will come. Like, I want to be fully prepared and have a good amount of songs to do when I go in there. So
that makes a lot of sense. And what is it like too, from your standpoint, like on your first album, picking those songs? Because I'm sure you have so many songs, probably hundreds that you've written. What was it like selecting the songs to put on an album, and how will you do that for this album?
I wanted there to be some upbeat songs. I wanted a song for everybody to enjoy. Some of them have like the more of like the poppier sound, like the one we just did, Ask You to Leave. There's a song for everybody on there. I really genuinely feel that way. With the new album, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how I will arrange that or what all will be on there, but I'm sure it'll work out good. It'll be great, hopefully.
Yeah. And do you take, like, from what you do in the live shows and the songs that you do, you pay attention, I'm sure, to what people like and what they connect with when you're doing the album? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We were just talking about that we had a couple of new ones that we wanted to try at this upcoming show, and they're pretty catchy songs. And yeah, I mean, I definitely get a feel. There's certain songs like the Old GA, people like that song. But it's relatable. It's very relatable. So I think that is why.
Yeah. And people can also walk around with your T-shirts and all that good stuff. You have merch as well?
I do. I do have merch. I have koozies. And my sister-in-law actually sent me a picture the other day. She's like, I'm supporting your cause or whatever, because she had this big old bottle of water at the lake. But yeah, we've got, I have CDs and koozies and a couple other little things. So
that's fun. So if they go see you at a live show, they can get hooked up with all
Absolutely.
that stuff.
Absolutely.
Buy as much as possible, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, you have one more song prepared for us, and this is a song that we've played quite a bit, and we will continue to do so. Tell us about the Old GA.
The Old GA is just a really fun song. I was sitting outside one day at a bonfire, and I was looking around, and I'm like, man, if this is all the inspiration I need. And so I just started thinking about, things where I come from and what we do. And, so that's kind of just the inspiration for it. It talks about bonfires and all kind of other fun stuff. So, yeah, I hope y'all enjoy it.
I know they will.
Ain't nothing like a cold Bud Light and a bonfire on a Friday night. 4-wheel drives backed up to that thing with crazy foes trying to sing to Johnny Cash and Haggard too. Down in the sticks, that's what we do. We drink our wine from a solo cup, going mud and hoping we get stuck. Girls are rocking them Daisy Dukes. Ain't nothing like a man in cowboy boots. Can't resist the southern drawl, some southern charm to top it off. If you wanna party, head this away, 'cause we know how to do it in the OGA. Rolls around, we're all tore up and we're getting down. Cornhole and old beer pong, and nobody's ready to head on home. Calming us down, yeah, best of luck, 'cause we're gonna party till the sun comes up. We drink our wine from a solo cup, going mud and hoping we get stuck. Girls are rocking them Daisy Dukes. Ain't nothing like a man in cowboy boots. Can't resist the southern drawl, some southern charm to top it off. If you wanna party, head this away, 'cause we know how to do it in the OGA. We drink our wine from a solo cup, going mud and hoping we get stuck. Girls are rocking them Daisy Dukes. Ain't nothing like a man in cowboy boots. Can't resist the southern drawl, some southern charm to top it off. If you wanna party, head this away, 'cause we know how to do it in the OGA. The OGA.
I do love that one too. That's the OGA, Ashley Walden. It's been wonderful to have you here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
I've had a great time.
I'm so glad, and I hope you'll come back.
Yes,
You
for
will?
sure.
Okay,
Absolutely.
good. The long drive.
It's worth it.
Thank you. So yeah, the OGA, all those songs. You have the Reverb Nation. That's a great resource that artists have now that fans can go and get all their information, dates, tour dates, and songs, all that good stuff. So how can they find you on there?
It's under Ashley Walden, and I also have a personal Facebook page, but a music Facebook page as well as Ashley Walden Music. So you can find me there and hit me up and find out where we'll be.
Yes, and you're always open for booking shows, right?
Absolutely. Yep. just contact me.
They'll come on down here and drive again, right?
That's
for a
right.
show.
That's right.
All right. So find Ashley on Facebook, as she said, either on her personal page or on the music page, and also Reverb Nation. You can go
Yes,
there
ma'am.
and find out more. And I always love to ask the question about your music. What do you ultimately want to get out from your music and what you're doing?
I just want people to hear my music. I want people to hear what I have to say. That's really the most important thing. I guess the politically correct answer would be, I want a record deal. And who doesn't want a record deal? But ultimately, I just love music. I love music, and I just want people to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I want people to enjoy my music the way that I enjoy other people's music.
Yeah, and as a songwriter, you are awesome. As a singer, also awesome. So I know you have a big career ahead of you.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I really mean that. So good luck to you. And Logan, thank you for coming as well. Ashley Walden, it has been an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, go check her out once again. Facebook. You can go on Facebook or Reverb. Check out Ashley Walden Music, and you can find it all there. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Going to take some pictures, so be looking on social media for that, on both mine and Ashley's, I'm sure. And stay tuned. We're going to have more coming up right here on the show. Wasn't so bad.
No, that wasn't so bad at all.
You mind trying not to cough?
I know, you're like...
Getting over a cold.